It's just been extraordinary to show everyone here and to experience the energy and the verve of everyone's work. It's extraordinary. And to the audience, to thank you for coming out on this beautiful Sunday. It's fabulous to come inside on such a beautiful day. So I thank you as well. This piece of umbilicus is really, so when you look at the reproduction, they always look like they're about that big. But this series, I did a series called Dealing with Umbilicus, and it really, I think Alicia talked about it so eloquently, this connection that one feels or one reaches for in life. I have to preface this with, I am the mother of 4 and the grandmother of 2. And umbilicus really came out of with parents and love relationships and family and siblings and this connection. You want in the best of times to have this synergy, this energy. But I find as I progress through life and through my family life, it is those moments of hard times when we need the strength the most. And it was a critical time in my life when my son was in distress. And umbilicus grew out of the power and the ability to sustain. It was a process of leaving evidence that there was more than just this moment, and more than just this immediate life. That the power that his life sprang from grew beyond him, beyond me, and beyond our family. And that umbilicus talked about a longevity and a numbing that has traveled through humankind and through humanity. And I wanted to have physical evidence of this power. So umbilicus really talked about this place where things are transformed. That they're neither male nor female, they're neither right or wrong, they're neither strong or weak, they just are. And it is that moment, and it is that energy that I try to work with and to capture in the work. When Myrtis talks about energy, when I work with kind of raw natural materials. My base material was always clay. And I started out in the country at my grandparents' house in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in Lynchburg, Virginia, which was a big city, and I lived in the mountains. So I grew up in the natural environment where my grandparents and uncles and aunts grew all the food. We dug the well to drink the water. It was self-sustaining, and the earth became, for me, a part of sustenance, a way to continue, a way forward. So no matter what is happening in modern life, the complexity of it, the earth is sustained. So for me, it was always important to reach back to these kind of raw materials that were not prefabricated. They weren't. That when you touch a stone, you're touching history, you're touching time manifest, that it comes from the beginning of the earth, from molten states and gases, and all of that energy is formed and documented within these materials. So for me, these materials come laden with the energy. They come laden with the possibility. I don't have to make it up. It's there. So what I try to do is touch the energy and to somehow be a vehicle through which it can occur. And I wanted these pieces umbilicus to speak to my children and my children's 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 children, that I saw their faces before they even had a face. And I remember my daughters calling me and saying, I said, you're pregnant and you have a son, and I saw him last night. And I feel like those are moments when the universe touches you, and it speaks, and it has a complexity that you will never understand, but you are blessed to have the knowledge or the bit of a little clue that this power exists. And for me, the exhibition, the story that is told here, among everyone's work is really complex because the stories being told and fed into us as vehicles. When I look out in this audience there, I mean, I can just pick through the audience all these artists who worked with this thing and where these messages are coming. And it's very important as we move forward. And I'm really struck with the diversity in work. So it's not important that a work looks a certain way or that it has the shape or form, but what's important is that what is the story that's being told? Where will this story lead us? It has a past, it has a moment here, and then it has the possibility to take us forward. So for me, Umbilicus really talked about this invisible place and thing and power and magic that happens in spite of us. It's the thing that makes me able to. My daughter, youngest daughter, is in New York, and I'm here, but to immediately feel that connection from New Orleans and Kentucky, that it is less than a flash of lightning away because you're connected. And that connection springs from so much more than we interface with in our physical lives, that it becomes an open place for investigation.
Well, that just, that's what we felt in standing there. Oh my God. Delicious word. Wow, this is so powerful. It's so intuitive.
It's bad.
Okay, well, we'll go on to Galerie.